Hey folks, this is Matt once again with another edition of my 69 favorite horror films. At number 40, it's Deep Blue Sea. Once again, if my camera fucks up and I'm going like this, sorry about that. But Deep Blue Sea, right off the bat, is just a fun, entertaining creature feature flick. Other than Jaws, it's definitely my favorite killer shark movie, which there have been lots of them, so that's definitely something I can say. Mainly because I like the director, Renny Harlin. He did Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, which I really love. I even like Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Prison. He hasn't done a lot of great stuff recently, but I did like the one Mindhunters that I think he did after this. I like that one. That was a good one. But Deep Blue Sea is a lot of fun. Basically, you have Saffron Burrows as a scientist. Samuel L. Jackson is kind of like one of those millionaire, billionaire type of guys. And basically, Saffron Burrows and her team are doing this research on Alzheimer's. The cure for Alzheimer's. And like Saffron Burrows, someone in her family had it, and she had to watch him die, and hey, we could really make this work. So Samuel L. Jackson doesn't know if he should be using his money, if he should be, still involved with this. Where's my money going to? She's like, okay, I'm going to show you. Which is weird. One thing that's weird, in that scene, it's like a meeting, there's a guy sitting, this is like a head guy. It's Ronnie Cox. The bad guy from Total Recall, RoboCop. He never says one word. And I'm like, what the fuck? You got Ronnie Cox from Beverly Hills Cop and Deliverance, and you don't even have him say one word? That was very strange. I smelled deleted scenes, which definitely not. Well, there's deleted scenes. Maybe that's on there, but maybe not. But I don't know. I smell something was deleted. But she brings Samuel L. Jackson. We're introduced to the rest of the crew, and I like the cast. I think everybody did a great job. This film introduced me to Thomas Jane, who has become one of my favorite actors. Yes, I do love him as the Punisher. And I admit, now that I think about it, he is my favorite Punisher. I like Dolph Lundgren's the Punisher, but if I had to pick a favorite guy playing the Punisher, I think Thomas Jane really owned that role. I also liked him in The Mist. I liked him in a film called Give Him Hell Malone. So I like Thomas Jane. Liked him as an actor. I think he's strong and he's good here. He's sort of a guy who sort of has a past. You can tell he has sort of a prison sheet. So like if he doesn't want to. I just see sort of. I kind of like. It seems like a guy who maybe on parole, and but he knows how to deal with sharks. So he's sort of a shark wrangler. But they're like, hey, you fuck with me, and I'll put you right back in prison. I sort of got that sort of vibe from it. So I kind of, felt for the guy. Like, he's doing this, but he doesn't really believe it 100%. You have LL Cool J as the cook, and granted, LL Cool J is LL Cool J, but at the same time, he's better than some other rappers who are actors. He's better, in my opinion, than Mos Def and, what was that fucking movie with Bruce Willis? 16 Blocks. That guy was horrible in that movie. That movie, I should say. I like him better than DMX. I like him better than Corrupt or a lot of these other guys. So I don't mind LL Cool J. You also have Michael Rappaport. He's a good actor, funny guy. Samuel L. Jackson, of course. And basically what they're doing is they have these sharks, and they sort of, as Richard Crenna says in Leviathan, don't fuck with Mother Nature. So they do. And like in the opening, you have a shark who's escaped and is fucking with these kids, and they're able to capture before anything happens. But these sharks have been sort of enlarged, and their brains have been enlarged to get more of the sort of secretions of the brain to help with their cure. But as they're showing, of course, one thing leads to another, and a shark bites one of them. The actor name is Stellan Skarsgård, who I remember was the younger Father Karras in the Exorcist prequels. both versions that they shot, they used that same actor. The one that Renny Harlin, weirdly enough, shot at the beginning, and then the previous director who had shot his version, which they said, oh, we don't want this, give Renny Harlin. That guy had been Father Karras in both versions. He gets his arm bitten, and basically the whole place gets fucked up. Oh, by the way, there's a big storm coming, of course. You have to have that, otherwise they could just leave. Because they're trying to arrest you, and the helicopter is trying to fight the hurricane, and a shark, like, it gets dropped, and the shark grabs the guy who's been bitten, and they have him in this rig. He's getting dragged, which the helicopter is being dragged, and it smashes into the sort of, there's like a woman up there who calls for help. She gets blown up and it fucks up the whole facility. Live, good old-fashioned explosions, which of course Renny Harlin does well. And from then on, you just have an exciting, fun, well done special effects of the sharks. Granted, the CGI, when you see the sharks in CGI, some shots are better than others, but there are a few shots that look very fake. I think there's more better effects than there are worse effects, I'll say that. And you have some really good practical shark effects. And you get some really good ones, like, I don't know if you can see this, but that's a really good looking sharks, you know. They really did a great job in certain aspects. Renny Harlin knows how to shoot action sequences. And I really like this cast. I really like Thomas Jane. LL Cool J, you know, he has his parrot. His parrot gets eaten, and you know he's stuck in the oven, and he has to get himself out. It's like, you killed my bird, throws a fucking live, blows up a shark. Hey, killing sharks in grandiose fashion, I'm all for. As long as it's not like Jaws 4, The Revenge. But, and what's cool about this movie, I remember I saw this in the theater and being surprised a couple times. For instance, I was spoiling the film because you should have seen this. This film came out when? 99. So, goddamn, 11 years ago? Shit. 11 years ago, so if you haven't seen it, you know, there you go. Of course, everybody remembers Samuel L. Jackson's scene where he's giving the big speech and then he gets killed. When I saw it in the theater, that was a big shock. Like, holy shit, they killed Sam Jackson. You know, a fucking shark ate me. You know, Sam Jackson got killed, and that was surprising. And also, another thing that surprised me was that Saffron Burrows, she's kind of a scientist who kind of started it all, and I didn't really like this character. And like, there was a couple who got mad at her, and I kind of agreed with them. But then it was kind of funny, like at the end, in order to draw some attention, she cuts herself and like jumps in, which I don't know why she jumped in. I don't know why you didn't just do this and let the blood drop down or whatever. But whatever. Then she tries to climb up and she gets killed and eaten, which surprised me. And I was actually glad the two people I liked survived. And I'm going to spoil it right now. It's Thomas Jane and LL Cool J. They're the two last survivors, and I was surprised. And I liked that. You know, hell, the two characters I liked lived. That was cool. But the film, I'm trying to think where I was going with this. It's well shot, it's well photographed. You have some good old-fashioned action sequences. You know, the cast do their jobs well. You had some good surprises in there. The special effects, they're good when you see the practical sharks. But, you know, when the CGI at times is very spotty, so to speak. And also, I mean, do I have problems with the movie? That's probably one of the big problems with the movie, is the CGI can be spotty at times. Also, I do get the fact that, okay, you made the brains bigger. That doesn't mean they're going to be smarter, okay? Because just because you made the brain bigger, you have to teach them stuff. I mean, if my brain is bigger, it don't mean shit if you don't tell me and teach me anything. I can process more, I can understand more, but you have to teach me it. So unless they taught the sharks everything, you know, it was like, okay, I understand you made them, but you have to teach them. And they have to learn, you know, what the hell that is and where does it go. And it's like, okay, I have a bigger brain. Let's say I had a brain of this. I did a bigger brain. I see this. I'm not automatically going to know to open it and drink it and swallow it and not choke. I have to teach you that thing. Okay, this is, you open it like this. You hold it like this. You put it to your mouth like this. Do it not too quickly, not too slowly. Make sure you don't choke. Make sure you swallow. You know, that sort of thing. So I understand that. So some people may say the plot's stupid and the CGI spy at times, but to me that didn't bother me at all. I mean, because I had too much fun. I had a lot of fun. I think it has a good pace. I like the cast. Saffron Burrows I didn't like, but you know, some of the characters in the film didn't like her either, so I was kind of with it. It was nice to see Sam Jackson there. I really like Thomas Jane, easy to root for. He has some good action sequences, like when they're climbing the ladder and it smashes, and like Thomas Jane has to open this door so that the water will go through so it doesn't rise so quickly, and trying to hold this girl's hand and she's going. Unfortunately, the shark comes up and grabs her, and you know the sharks die in big glorious ways. And I like the characters, Thomas Jane, L. Cool J, Michael Rappaport, Sam Jackson. One scene that I'm like, come on, really? Was a scene where Saffron Burrows goes back and there's a shark and she takes off her shirt, stands on it, just like this stuff to electrocute the damn thing. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know, that scene for some reason, maybe it just reminded me of this movie a little too much, the ending of this movie, Jaws 2, just the whole thing, I don't know, also, part of my brain didn't believe it, but I'm watching a movie about killer sharks, so, leave my brain at the door. But it has a lot of good adrenaline moments to it, and that's because of Renny Harlin. And they had a big budget for this movie, which also helps too, because you get some good grandiose explosions and action sequences and entertainment. So when I first saw it, you had some good twists and turns I didn't see coming. There were some characters I thought would live or thought would die, and it wasn't the case. And hell, it's a big budget killer shark movie with some good practical special effects, not all of them unfortunately, and a cast that I like, especially the lead guy, Thomas Jane. I really like that guy. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I really got a kick out of it. So yeah, Deep Blue Sea definitely deserves my number 40 in my top 69 favorite horror films. So thanks for watching, and take care. Later.